Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Tuesday, April 2nd of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. Let's go ahead and hop into these astrological transits for today so you can see how you can be better prepared to navigate these celestial energies. I'm actually making this video at a decent time, mainly because I have a lot of videos to make. I have, of course, the weeklies for the 12 signs, and then, of course, I have the monthly transit overview. I'm thinking that the monthly transit overview will probably drop. I might be able to do it tomorrow, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be Wednesday is when that one comes out. And because I'm doing weeklies for the 12 signs, I'm not going to draw cards for the 12 signs at the end of the monthly transit video overview, just because you guys actually get more content now. You guys are actually getting, like I said, before it was just a tarot, I would pull a tarot card essentially for each sign in that monthly overview video. Now you guys are getting it every single week where I do a tarot reading, so you guys are actually getting more content. So this actually does make it easier on me, believe it or not. Plus, like I said, I can do it video by video, which makes it easy for you guys, because then you don't have to jump around to what time slot or whatever like that, or time stamp. You can just go right to the video that you want to watch and boom, you know what I'm saying? So trying to make things a little bit easier on you guys and also easier on me. But let's go ahead and hop into these transits for today. I have this set, of course, for 6:36:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, we do have that moon that's going to be finishing up in Capricorn today. It won't quite make it to Aquarius. That's going to be more of an overnight into Wednesday aspect. But we do have that going on. Now, what's interesting, of course, about this moon is that it's going to be, of course, it's going to start to square the rest of the Pisces energy here. It's not going to quite get to the square with Venus and Neptune, but it gets pretty close. And we are going to mainly see it, of course, square Chiron today, and then towards the end of the day, getting really close to that Eris. So definitely going to provide a bit of tension with that one. And, of course, my phone goes off and you guys can hear that sort of stuff. So forgive me, hopefully there's not too many more of those. I'm gonna just fix that if I can. Let's see if it'll even let me. It might not even let me. It might not even let me. Let's just hope that my phone doesn't go off much more. Normally I have it silenced, but I'm having to make do and stuff like that with the resources that I have. So now the day, of course, starts off Moon trine Jupiter. Nice little aspect here, although it's a little bit weird. This is not mutual reception because the moon is in detriment in Capricorn, and Jupiter doesn't like to be in Capricorn either, much rather be in Cancer. So that's kind of the interesting thing about this. It's like the moon rather be where Jupiter is, and Jupiter rather be where Jupiter is. So and I think that's the weird thing about this is that, you know, there are definitely some beautiful things that can open up, and we're wanting to expand, we're wanting to grow things, of course, with Jupiter here in Taurus. It's getting closer to Uranus, but how much can we expand right now? Are we trying to push the envelope a little too much? Are we being really true and authentic to who we are? Because we got to remember that this moon, while it will trine Uranus too, and that's another thing too, is like, I don't think really, well, I know Neptune definitely doesn't care to be in Cancer, but Uranus probably a little more on the indifferent side in Capricorn. But we will see before the moon even makes that aspect, we will see it make a square over to Chiron at 19 degrees. And then it'll trine Uranus. So today's a day, and Venus also, that's the other thing we have to talk about too, just real fast, and then I'll kind of go over everything. But we want to see the moon make that aspect. It's going to trine Uranus here around noon, a little bit after noon, you know, here on the East Coast. And then we're going to see Venus hit the 27th degree. And it's not going to fully conjunct Neptune at this degree. It's actually going to conjunct Neptune at 28 degrees. And Neptune's been at 27 degrees for a while. right? So this was the degree that it retrograded at. So Neptune is actually going to be coming out of shadow. So that's the weird thing about this. There's so much like on edge, nearly breakthrough energy right now. And with a moon that is going to be in square to Chiron and Eris coming off the trine to Jupiter at this time and getting ready to sextile this conjunction of Neptune and Venus, this is a time where we really want to make sure that we're not overreacting to external stimuli, especially more in the negative sense. Now, positive things still, I think that's great to respond positively to that, but even then, we don't want to like overdo it. This is a time right now where it can be easy to get distracted. It can be easy to be overly stimulated. So, especially with all of this Aries energy, and especially with Venus on top of Neptune, this is definitely, and a Mercury that's stationed retrograde, mind you, this is definitely a moment where people can get overstimulated. Um, they can feel a lot of energy, and people can become hypersensitive right now. People who are normally not hypersensitive to energy or emotions or different things that are happening in the world can become hypersensitive right now. This moon in Capricorn, the good thing about it is that it's helping us to ground some of these things, helping us to ground some of this energy, and especially with a trine over to Uranus, could definitely be a good opportunity to ground some of this extra static and electricity that we may be feeling in our bodies. Or a toroidal field. The toroidal Taurus field, the energy that you put out comes back in, right? So it's a good opportunity to definitely ground a lot of that energy. So I would say Tuesday would be a great day to get outside, put your feet in the ground if you need to kind of get to like, allow yourself to kind of tether to the earth and, get rid of some of that excess energy, if you will. But with the moon that's going to be squaring Chiron, right? It's like we want to climb this mountain, especially from an emotional standpoint. We want to feel like we can climb this mountain, but we're wondering, are we strong enough? Do we have the right resources? Are we going to be accepted for who we are? What if we're not accepted for who we are? Maybe we try to be someone else. Maybe try to use this key to open up someone else's door. That's the thing. Like the keys that you have in your hand, are they opening up the doors that are meant for you? Or are you trying to open up someone else's car? Are you trying to open up someone else's vehicle that's not even yours? Like, I'm sorry, you have the keys to a Volvo and you're trying to open up the keys to this Corvette. And I think a lot of us probably feel that way right now. Maybe we want the keys to a Corvette or a nicer car or something. But that right there is an illusion. Because who says that, now I'm going to get my Corvette one day, but like who says that, having those things automatically means that you are better or more valuable or whatever, right? Even those people are going through stuff. So, and I think it's about just appreciating that you have something in the first place. I think that's the beautiful thing about this moon trining Jupiter, trining Uranus, is to help us to see the value in what already is and to see the value in the relationships and the connections that already are as well. That's the beautiful thing about that trine. Square over to Chiron, we can definitely get in our head, especially with Mercury retrograde, because now these things are going to be turned more inward. People are going to be really in their head over the next 3 weeks. And if you're really in your head and you are overly stimulated and overreacting to a lot of the external stimuli, we're going to see the like podcasts. I know a lot of people have their own podcasts now, shit like that. Podcasts over the next 3 weeks are going to be insane. People are going to be saying some insane shit. There's going to be some people, I'm sure there's going to be some celebrities out there that say something seemingly crazy off the wall and probably get canceled. Because they say something that is probably how they really truly think. Right? How they truly, really think. And people aren't going to vibe with it. Now, we are going into, and it's the simple stuff too. It's Aries, like it's simple stuff, but people are still going to get triggered by it. So you want to just be careful with this kind of energy too, especially when the moon goes into Aquarius and sextile this energy, and squares Jupiter and Uranus with all this going on, as Venus is going to be on top of Neptune, social media is going to be lit. Oh my gosh, the stuff that we're going to see over the next 3 weeks, like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to observe. You want to be more of an observer because I guarantee you everyone's probably going to get triggered some way. Now, just because you get triggered doesn't mean that you have to react in a volatile way. That is the important thing. We don't want to react volatilely. We want to observe the trigger. We want to observe the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings that come up. We want to observe them and see, all right, what is this a symptom of? It's a deeper thing that's here, I'm sure, that this is a symptom of. What else is here? What is this? What is the seed that this is erupting out of? And who planted it there? Did I plant it there? Was that planted there by somebody else? The seed that I planted, was this planted here out of an insecurity that I might have had in a past situation? And now this thing has grown into its own beast and its own image. And now that's what I have adopted. And that's not even who I truly am. That's the thing. And I think we all have elements of that. I think the whole thing with spirituality and authenticity, I think the whole thing with spirituality is authenticity. I think that's really what it comes down to. It's like, are you authentic? And that's something that it's an everyday thing. It's not something that you don't just wake up and be like, oh, I'm 100% authentic today. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, utilize this time to, go over those things and review those things that need to be reviewed. And, know that we are in a bit of a raw time. You want to do your best to find the simple solutions today. Try not to overcomplicate the energy. Try not to overcomplicate things. It's already feeling complicated with all the Pisces energy here and all of this Aries energy. It's already a complicated start to the astrological new year. And of course, building up to a new moon solar eclipse that's going to really shift the dynamic of this planet forever. Like straight up. So, this moon said it's going to be finishing up in Cap. We're going to see it at 23 degrees. We're going to see it, it's going to end up squaring Eris. And then towards the tail end of the day, we're going to see it hit 27 degrees, which means that it's going to sextile the Venus-Neptune conjunction, which has started. And it's going to sextile, of course, Mercury as well. So, no, excuse me, it's just going to square Mercury as well. So, that is the thing about this sort of day. And we got to remember that these degrees here, 27, 28, 29 degrees of Capricorn, are sensitive degrees. Why? Because Pluto has gone over it multiple times. Multiple times. If you're in America, of course, Pluto's America, it's at 27 degrees. I want to say it's 27 degrees. It's either 27 or 28 degrees. I'm pretty sure Pluto's America's Pluto is at 27 degrees. United States of America. So, definitely with a day like Tuesday, Tuesday, it's Mars Day, if you will. Mars, of course, is here in Pisces, getting closer to Saturn as well. It's dispositing all of this Aries energy. So, like I said, we are in a time where we're wanting to figure things out. We're wanting to take some action. We're wanting to move things forward. But it still feels like we're in a bit of a purgatorial state. It feels like we can kind of move forward, but not at the pace that we want to. And we don't necessarily have the juice, the firepower. But I think that's just the illusion. I think what it really is that the power and the juice is there. You just have to dig a little bit deeper and you have to look at it from a different lens, a creative way. It's not going to come in the traditional ways anymore. But what it is going to come from is just the one constant of humanity is that of adaptability, the ability for humans to adapt to their situation is, I think, very, very important. And I think it's something that really needs to be honed in on and addressed more because it's like people have forgotten how to adapt. It's like the moment that something goes wrong, no matter if it's simple or a big thing, it's like everything is wrong and they can't function. But you have to learn how to be able to function in this kind of energy. What happens when you get a flat tire? Okay, you call AAA or you learn how to fix it. You have YouTube, you have a resource and learn how to learn how to replace your tire. You know what I'm saying? What did I do when my webcam stopped working? I figured out a way to still do this and y'all can still see my face. I got my camera. It even says using Droid camera on here. Like, until I get another webcam, and I will eventually, but until then, this works. You know? So find solutions. Find solutions and realize that the solutions don't have to be some long, drawn out, contrived thing. It's probably a lot simpler than we realize. So let's get into the cards. The only thing I don't like about this is that my front-facing camera on my phone isn't necessarily the best. Like, it's decent. Like, it gets the job done, but it could be better. It's not as good as the actual webcam. But, you know, like I said, we make do with what we have, and we make it work out, so. All right, let's see what we got here. The good thing about Mercury retrograde in Aries is that this is probably a really good time for comedy. The question is whether or not people are going to be able to embrace and accept the comedy as comedy, or they're going to take things too personally. But it's going to be a great time. I think comics are going to have a great time with this Mercury retrograde. Even if they're not into astrology, they're just going to have a really good time with it. So it's going to be definitely very interesting too. So I have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is about knowing your value and you embracing and accepting your value. This is like, you know, no one's necessarily going. You have to be able to recognize it yourself. You know, I think a lot of us can be wanting to look outside of ourselves and wanting external validation. This is about validation coming from within and coming from the earth. This Queen of Pentacles is definitely giving me Mother Gaia energy. So if you want validation, just go put your feet in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Connect to Mother Earth. I think that'll be a very powerful, positive thing to do on a day like today. We also have that followed by, we got the Three of Swords. Yeah, so I mean, I think we all have our fair share of heartbreaks and things that did not go exactly the way that we thought. No, I mean, I don't think this necessarily has to be a really big thing, but, you know, it could just be like the simple day-to-day stuff that just go awry. Like, it does kind of suck. It's a little heartbreaking that my webcam's not working. But the crazy thing is that the audio's fine, and the audio on here is actually pretty decent. So it's like, is it perfect? Nah. So this is definitely very Chiron-y. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this Three of Swords is probably the moon in Capricorn as it squares over to Chiron. So we all have some wounding, we all have our scars, and it's about whether or not we can embrace those aspects of ourselves and see the lessons in those and the stories in those. Maybe even make a little light of it. Maybe even make a little light of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got through that moment. You're here, right? Now to follow that up, I do have the King of Cups. Yeah, so this is like, you know, we can find that emotional fulfillment. You know, I think this is about being more emotionally sound, if you will, and, you know, using the emotion as a powerful tool to manifest and to kind of, you know, be our guide, if you will. You know, so I think it's great that we have a queen and we have a king and we have the Three of Swords. Maybe the main thing here is that maybe the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups are wanting to be married, or maybe they're having a secret affair and they can't necessarily do that. Maybe that's what the Three of Swords is. So, and I can kind of see that too with, you know, the moon here in Capricorn and then all this energy in Pisces too. So I kind of actually can see where this whole little story is going. But you know what? I think we can, you know, we can get these different aspects of our life on the same page, the earthly aspects, the grounding aspects, and then of course the water, the emotions and stuff. You know, it's like maybe they're not fully in sync the way that we want them to be, but it's probably just an illusion, if you will. I'm gonna draw one more card because I think it's interesting too. I have the World card here in reverse. Yeah, so like I said, don't don't fret too much if it feels like your world is a little upside down right now. I think we all are feeling a little bit upside down, right? Like, just I think we're all feeling a little bit like topsy turvy right now. The whole world feels a little bit topsy turvy right now, and it's like it's a different kind of topsy turvy than from like the last 2 to 3 years. You know, from like 2020 to 2022, if you will. 2024 topsy turvy. It's like we can definitely feel like the tide is shifting, but we're still having to, like, I still have to address that. I still got to address that. It's like, yeah, you still have to address those things, but you can still move forward, and the world's not over. I think that today the message is the world's not over. It's okay. Yes, there's crazy shit, and we can always look at what's happening externally and get really, really super wrapped up and caught up in it. Or we can see the lessons in there. We can see the stories in there. We can see that even though it's crazy, that is still someone's reality. So that's their day to day. And we are all in this together. We are all under the same stars and influences and planets. That's the great thing about astrology, is that nobody can escape it. These planets, these movements, they are going to move irregardless of what we think. No matter what I can't force the sun to move more than a degree a day. I can't be like, I want the sun to move 2-3 degrees a day. No, it's going to move a degree a day. You know what I'm saying? I can't be like, I want the moon to shift signs every single day. Nope. It's going to take 2.5 days or so. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about this. So just remember that, we're all human. Have the card of belief. Just believe in yourself. That's what it really comes down to. Believe in yourself, believe in your power, believe in your ability to get through these situations, these weird situations. And it's not all bad. It's just some weird stuff, some topsy-turvy stuff, Just believe in your ability to adapt to your situation and adapt to the current times, and know that you'll be able to make it through anything. That's going to do it for your daily astrology forecast for this Tuesday, April 2nd. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. As always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Tuesday. I trust that this message will assist you on this day. I will see you all on the next astrology forecast, or like I said, I have the monthly videos I'm doing, not the monthly, well, yeah, the monthly video that I'm doing, and then the video for the 12 signs. So I'll see you guys on one of those. Peace.